So let's talk about this enormous piece of work. So obviously Edward comes from All Quiet, with quite a reputation. I was just describing his work seems to be if you mix the National Portrait Gallery with Hogwarts, in that you walk into these masterpieces and yet they move. How is that for you as an editor to take those stunning visuals and work the story with that?
I mean, it's brilliant. I mean, I was just saying, it's like, every day when you're making this film, you get presented with these images, which are just like you say, like paintings in a gallery, and they're occupied by these incredible actors in these most wonderful costumes. And it's just a joy. And I mean, Edward was so prepared that as an editor, when we started the shooting, he presented me with a set of storyboards and a shot list, and everything was planned so much so that at least I had something very explicit to start with and piece together the architecture of the scenes. And it was just an absolute joy. It's my dream, because quite often in editing, you have to sometimes hide things or try and disguise things or little flaws or whatever. There was nothing. It was just, everything was so pristine. It was wonderful.
Because it seems to get a lot of it done in camera.
Yeah, very much. I mean, there's obviously, every film has a few visual effect shots, but, no, he does. And, he's very good with lenses and creating atmosphere with those things. And also just, he really understands where to put the camera. He does these wonderful shots in the film of looking sort of over the back of actors' heads. And all you do as an audience member is you want to look around to try and see what's going on in their eyes, which is just an incredible, visceral thing to have an audience do. I mean, supremely talented, but a joy to work with, so it's great.
From a technical point of view, what are your editing tools of choice?
We were working on Avid Media Composer throughout, so that's kind of what I've been using for years. I have cut movies on Final Cut Pro years ago back in the day, but it's since sort of gone away a little bit, but it's Avid Media Composer generally.
And what do you find is it about that which works so well for you?
It's just the reliability. It's really set up for these large projects where you've got enormous amounts of footage and a lot of turnover to different departments, to sound, to music, to visual effects. It's just, it's a workhorse. So no.
And how
I
many?
don't want to sound like an advert for Avid.
No. But roughly how many terabytes of data?
I wouldn't be able to tell. My assistant editor would be able to tell you. I wouldn't be able to tell you. Yeah. But cool.
So, what? Are there moments through this where you realise that you're doing more than putting pieces of footage together, and it's actually coming out as a kind of magic?
I mean, I knew that when I was watching the rushes, when you were seeing those performances, even before I'd cut the scenes, even just watching those and seeing the performances, I just knew that it was special, just the way he was shooting it and just the beauty of it, It was just like, this is an exciting thriller, but it's also, it's a beautiful art film at the same time, so very exciting.
And just quickly, silly last question. If you had to vote yourself, do you think Edward would make a good Pope?
Oh goodness, I could never answer that. He's the boss and I'm cutting his next film at the minute, so I can't say anything.
Okay, understood. Thank you so much.
Ladies and gentlemen, you're watching Hey You Guys!
Hey, you guys!
Hey, you guys!
Hey, that's what they all say.
Hey, you guys!
Hey, you guys!